All
Wait,
right. Oh,
before you
I
start.
hit it.
Oh shit.
Hey everybody, we have welcome to Open Interest Tuesdays. We have Trader Goo here with us. We're
Yo
gonna give it
yo.
a few minutes for everybody to hop in and get started, and then we'll get going. Oh, look, it does give everybody the warning about the Tobii eye tracker.
Nice dude.
I didn't know that. Got it. What were you gonna say? I mean, unless it was not
I
the.
was gonna say we should probably test the sharing screen thing just before we kind of proceed, but I guess it's too late now, you know.
And I'm wondering if people hear doubles of you, because I can sort of hear doubles, but okay. Yeah, I'm just sent you a DM. Hey everybody, thank you for hopping in. We're gonna give a few moments for everybody to hop in, and we'll get things going. Just let me know if you guys can hear Goo or not. That's the only biggest issue. And when you do hear Goo, let me know if you hear doubles of him. So I don't think you guys are probably gonna be able to hear him right now, and he's not really saying anything right now either. Just gotta wait for somebody to respond. Hey, they said nah. Okay, so here, I'm gonna put him on, and let's see if you guys hear him now. All right, go ahead.
Yo, can you guys hear me now?
Now you guys should be fine. Yeah, he said yeah, and
Perfect.
he
All
sounds
right.
fine, right? No doubles, no nothing crazy. Yeah, cool. All right.
All
I
right. Let
thought
me just
so.
tweet this out, bro. Give me 2 secs.
I hear one on your end when I hear your voice.
What do you mean, like a double?
Yeah, a little bit of a slight echo.
Oh yeah, it's because of my room and stuff. My bad.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, they said slight double.
All right. Hopefully it's not too bad.
They said it's super light, so I
All
think
right.
it should be
Perfect.
manageable. Yeah, man, I have this Yeti speaker, and like, I absolutely hate it for streaming because it picks up like every single bit of noise, and it doesn't like set up properly with anything. But then I have this $12 like Jabra headset that I'm using right now, and it outperforms everything I've used. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Yo, Nicer man, thank you for joining.
Yo yo. All right. Let me put this in some Telegram groups with a few homies.
Yeah, we already got
Here.
15 people viewing. Yo guys, we're gonna yo man, I still appreciate you hopping on, man. Forgot it's probably late for you.
Ah, don't worry about it, bro. I got you.
I think it was Nicer man. I think he's in Europe, somewhere in Europe too. Is this gonna be
Yeah, bro.
recorded? Yeah, it's gonna be recorded. I'll have to get you the YouTube link. It's on one of my YouTubes. I'm just not sure which one. I'm gonna try to see if I can find out before we go live. All right. Yeah, guys, if you guys have any tickers and you guys want to put them down now, put them down now, and I'll start from the beginning to the top in a few moments once I grill Goo about a couple things. We were just talking about AUD and USD JPY, so this will be exciting. All right, YouTube link.
Somebody said long dodge.
Oh God, I haven't even checked that yet, to be honest.
I still want to see her hit 20s. I'm not sure if it's going to do it now, to be honest, because it's gained support, but I'll just be a little bit too perfect. 20 big figure. Drink your iron brew. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, what were you drinking?
Yeah, so in Scotland, we have a drink called iron brew, bro. It's pretty nice. Super fucking sugary. It's like horrible for you, but pretty good.
Well, all those giant onions didn't look too appetizing, so more power to you, man.
Trust me, it was much nicer than it looked.
All right, we'll have to get the YouTube link once this logs me back
That's all
in.
right, man.
But
Take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
yeah, I think we're ready to go. We got a bunch of people in here, so let's get going, man. So guys, we're gonna talk about a little about FX. We're gonna compare it to SPY and just the legacy markets. I'm gonna ask him some basic questions about that and the correlations in that. But yeah, before we got on, we were talking and telling me about because I told you that I just found out about um the one that I was trading, Dixie, being
Mhm.
compared to SPY, and you were saying something about AUD.
Yeah, so basically the way it works is right that when when we see ES or S&P 500 gain strength or basically any of the major indices, we see yen kind of gaining weakness, right?
Hmm.
So in that kind of case, XXX yen, so that includes all JPY, dollar yen, is going to gain strength because underlying currency is JPY, right? Um, so generally speaking, like if AJ and UJ are moving lower, and ES is approaching resistance, it's a pretty good time to short that kind of thing.
On the monthly aspect for me, AUD looks like it's on monthly support, but any other time frame shorter looks horrible.
To me, I'm looking for a distribution up here. I think it's approaching,
Do you have your
it's
screen
trying
share
to
on?
distribute. No, I've got to wait for you to stop sharing screens here so I can do it.
Oh yeah, here, go for it.
All right. Oh, that's the wrong monitor. Give me 2 seconds, bro. Let me
Yeah.
just how do I all right, can you see everything?
Yeah, let me switch it for everybody, and all right, everybody can see it.
So today I was trading this small range here, looking for a little short up there. We caught it, I think, in the group, 20 pips down, 10 pips up. But overall, from like a macro point of view, if I break it down live for you guys, let's break this down. So the thing is, right, like this is looking super bearish on the higher time frames. I mean, yeah, we're going to see some sort of response here because this is a quarterly chart, right?
Hmm.
So it's not insignificant. But generally speaking, if you compare this to something like ES, we are going to see some like a lot of correlation, right? And this over here, obviously, very extreme case, but generally speaking, these two things do move together, like on the lower time frame, and it's pretty significant, I would say. One's usually a leading indicator for the other. It's not one of these kind of things that you want to blindly just short, AJ if ES is doing something,
Yeah.
right? That kind of thing. But you want to be aware of what's happening with the yen, right? It's one of these kind of things that if you kind of apply it with dollar yen just to kind of get like a stronger picture of what's actually happening, you can definitely start seeing the correlation in play, right? So for me, generally speaking, if I'm unsure what's happening in equities in terms of the indices and stuff, I just kind of look at the yen and gauge the strength or weakness before I kind of come to like a macro conclusion of what's happening across the board.
Yeah, 'cause like look at that. Like the minute that yeah, yen dropped, then it came right back up. So did ES. So that's really cool.
Yeah, dude. So generally speaking, that's the idea, right? But if you zoom out a lot, right, it's a little concerning when you see how much the correlation has clicked away from what it's meant to be doing. So for me, that's a little bit worrying. But I guess we'll
So
see.
so what happens now if we see AUD come down? 'Cause that looks really extended on that end of things.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen. I think because if you look at this, right, if you kind of look at what's this current leg is trying to do, it's trying to gain this swing, right? If you gain this swing, then that opens the gates for us to go up here somewhere, right? But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Right now, we're testing this and we're kind of testing what we just last lost, right? So if you go in the lower time frames here, it's clearly just trying to get above here, right? These general kind of highs. But at the minute, it's not really done anything significant. So I'm just
Yeah, just
waiting to see.
diagonally rising up to the resistance.
Yeah. Yeah, and this here is pretty concerning for me. This is why I was looking for shorts. I mean, I'm looking for a breakout of this before I get involved. I'm looking for something like this to happen and getting involved there. Um,
Now, are there any fundamental events that you like pay attention to related to this, or just purely price action?
so with the fundamentals, bro, I typically just trade price action. I keep an eye on the news. I don't trade the Fed meetings or anything like that, just because a lot of my edge in trading is price action. But alongside that, I do use correlations and open interest and stuff like that to confirm my bias. So I don't really, like to be in environments where my edge is not there. And I know for a fact that, when we have NFP weeks, when we have Fed meetings and stuff like that, my bias, is not going to be spot on. So in these kind of environments, I'm just scalping for like say 1 to 10 pips, that kind of thing. I'm not out for any medium moves or anything like that.
Yeah, I remember when I asked you about Dixie, I'm like, yo, what's your thoughts? You're like, I don't know, man. I don't trade it in the beginning of the month.
Yeah, I don't touch Dixie for like the second week. And generally speaking, from my experience, what happened last year, I got fucking slapped like this time of the year trading Dixie. Let me pull her up. This is what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for like a press up there. Now, that move up there is basically going to confirm everything, right? To me, this looks like it's trying to distribute, it's trying to slow down the momentum, right? So if that's the case, then we are going to see some downside push down to here.
Oof.
Now, for me, the ideal case for Dixie is going to be something like this. We want to see a leg down here and then a hard pop from here. Ideally up here somewhere, minimum. I think we'll see a pause here, so this is probably a good place to look for shorts on euro.
So
When we see
something like
something like
that
this
would pretty
happen.
much be devastating for, well, not really devastating, but it would definitely hurt the stock market too then.
I'm unsure, dude, because here's the thing. If you look at ES or NQ or whatever, I'm just gonna pull up ES. Like, this is what the monthly looks like. I'm not gonna fight this dude. Like right now, yeah, I'm not gonna fight that dude. So until we, at least lose, let's say 32, 32,325, this general area. I can't really see that number because I'm pretty far away from my screen. You know, until we lose here somewhere, I'm not really too keen on shorts. And to be quite honest, dude, like because of what this is doing, I mean, if you kind of look at its entire move, right, it's slowing the fuck down as it gets higher. That itself is pretty alarming, right? So when this thing actually is ready to drop, it's going to be pretty devastating when it happens. Now, in scope of where it's going to find support, I think we're going to see something around here in this congestion that we kind of got above. Obviously, that's very standard. Um,
That's what I'm saying. Anybody aiming for lower than that congestion area is just wild to me. I don't even know why
yeah,
you would. But I have a
exactly. I
lot of the
mean,
ES traders that I'm following. A lot of them are aiming for 3,300 tomorrow.
I could totally see that happen, to be honest. Yeah, I could certainly see that happen. I just don't think it's ready to go down yet. There's nothing about this that is saying, "Oh, I'm ready to dump." It's kind of like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is, trending really hard, you're not going to short it. It's the same thing with every market. You're not going to short this because it's, in a monthly fucking bull trend because of what a 15 is doing. With that said, if you do want to scalp it down, nothing wrong with that, but you just kind of have to understand where you are in the scope of the higher time frames, right? Because you got to consider, right, this is only a 50, a 15-minute candle,
Hmm.
and in the scope of a monthly candle, that really doesn't mean shit. But here's something that's kind of worrying me, right? If you look at the yearly chart, this is looking like a fucking
Since
altcoin, right?
2010.
Yeah. It literally looks like something got listed on Binance, and we seem like that kind of textbook thing that we see, right?
And that's the thing, like if I look at the monthly now, and if I look at the yearly now, I'm like, oh man, we have so much work to do this year to make sure this doesn't come down.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see how they hold it up with the fundamentals. I mean, I'm not a fundamental trader or anything, but at this point, I think they're kind of thrown out the window.
So gearing up for tomorrow, because we have that Fed meeting tomorrow. What does
All
like
right.
the short-term price action look for you as far as like most of these AUD cable and all that?
So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at. Hold on. I think my headphones just died out. Give me 2 seconds.
You're good.
Now we're good. So the first thing I like to do when I'm looking at interest rates, sorry, when I'm looking at Fed meetings, any kind of high impact news, is I like to kind of look at the ZB, the T bonds, and I like to look at a bunch of other future stickers as well. That gives me like a nice understanding of what we're likely to see, right? Because if I could quickly show you guys this, hold on, pull this up, interest rates. Basically, all three of these assets are inverse to Dixie, right? So if you see one gaining support and other two losing support, in that kind of environment, I'm going to be bullish. I'm going to be bearish Dixie because we're seeing an imbalance in the interest rate market, right? That's just the way I view it.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if that's true. That's just the way I've been taught it, right? So if I'm looking at this, I'm not really convinced that we're going to see anything major. So right now, this is not approaching anything significant to me on these time frames, right? This all
Hmm.
looks tested, so this is going to go through here. So short term, I'm bearish. Short term, I'm bearish Dixie,
Hmm.
and that kind of applies with what I showed you earlier. I want to see one more clear up, like a push up on Dixie before we move down, like up here somewhere, before we come and test 9617s. The thing is, right, these lows look really. I'm not sold on this holding. I wouldn't be too surprised if you come down here and test like let's say 95.9, 95.51. So in that general case, I'm not too keen on taking any trades. I'm going to wait for the expansion to happen. Probably scalp some crosses. This is not a market I want to be exposed too much to because you can understand, dude. We are still in the first month of the year, right?
Yeah,
And
for me,
every
like I
candle,
think they're gonna try to push this out sideways for another month more, and then we'll
yeah,
probably see that down leg happen. Because I still 100% believe that whole thing with sell in May and go away is totally gonna take an effect early, like it did last year.
yeah, dude. And dude, here's something you want to keep an eye on, right? Every calendar does the same thing, right? This is a pretty simple concept. A lot of the Space knows of this. So imagine this is our open, right? Of any time frame, doesn't matter, even the 1 minute, right? Generally speaking, we're gonna do something like this, right? And let's say we move up, we make the high, right? If you make the high here, and this is our open, we're more than likely gonna rip right through it because that's just how it works, right? And if you kind of consider what's happening in the market right now, if we're seeing something like this happen on Dixie, in a macro kind of point of view from what's happened the past couple of weeks, we're basically doing the exact opposite. So I think we're gearing up for a big move up. Maybe not in the scope of a yearly, but at least in the scope of a quarterly. I think we are going to see a large move, right?
Dang, you
The
just
same kind of
charted
applies
Bitcoin,
with,
dude. You're literally calling out Bitcoin right now. It's right around that same price.
you know what, dude? You know what's pretty funny? Me and CoinTrader were talking about this, right? If I pull it up Bitcoin on the weekly, let me pull this up on the monthly. This is kind of worrying me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, because if you look at this, dude, just you know, where's your yearly open? I don't really trade the opens and closes or anything like that, but just to kind of illustrate this point, right? This is fucking worrying.
Yeah, I mean, we still haven't cleared the zone up here, over here that we're at right now. I mean, we really need to make this push over here that we're at, or at least do like this flag that we did beforehand.
Let's calibrate these levels, because here's the thing: I'm not quite certain on like what this is gonna do, because I'm just gonna wait for the monthly close, because this monthly close has the power to basically save or kill this entire thing, right? Because let's say we close above here somewhere, right? Let's say the 92s. Let's say we close above 92s on the monthly. Then I think we're gonna make all-time highs, because none of this is gonna hold. Maybe here somewhere, maybe let's say 11,463 is gonna hold, but overall I think we're gonna make an all-time high, right? Because I mean, if you look at the momentum here, it's slowing down, right? But
Oof,
let's
I
say
think
this
12K
doesn't.
is gonna be hard to break, man.
You think so?
Yeah, that's a lot of wicks on that upside, even on the left structure. I
It's
don't
it's
know.
taken out though. So like the way I like to look at it is like if it's wicked something, it's taking the liquidity and delta off, right?
Hmm.
So it's not going to be sitting there. Now that's my personal view of the market. I'm not trying to sit here and tell people that a different view doesn't work. That's just how I trade.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I think up here is a big spot. If you feel to gain this, I think we're gonna rip lower down to at least, let's say, 2Ks. I honestly don't even think this is gonna hold. Like if you feel that, I don't think this is gonna hold. That's what's really bothering me right now. I am still on the edge of buying puts on Deribit.
Oh, dude, I went over to FTX. They've been having some nice volume on there.
Yeah.
I've been really interested in buying more longer term options for Bitcoin. But people are
Yeah,
like
bro.
just
Me and AMD have been talking about that for a good while now.
like I was thinking about buying ones for like a year out, but it's like, oh man, to put in so much money and to leave it in there in an options trade for that long on Bitcoin is just so sketchy for me. Like I want to do something for a year out to where hey, maybe Bitcoin hits all-time highs like we think.
Yeah, that's the thing with me too. So like the way I'm planning on, approaching Bitcoin from a macro point of view, and you guys gotta understand, I'm not a macro trader. I trade, lower time frames, right? I'm planning on spending on like something I don't care about, let's say 5 or 6K on Binance, right? Waiting for the entry and just scaling in and just keep adding sales. That's my plan. I don't care if it gets taken out, because I'll make that money back in FX. I don't really care about it like that. So that's my current thoughts with how I'm going to approach this. Am I certain on taking this here? Probably not, just because it's not regulated. So that in itself is going to make me a little bit iffy, just because I can see I've seen what happens, unregulated brokers and FX. So what's possible to happen in unregulated brokers is already fucking frightening.
What's your thoughts on gold right now?
Gold. All right, let me pull this up. This is what I was looking at today for like an intraday kind of thing. Wrong chart. We were
What's
playing
that
this.
wick?
Yeah, dude. Forex.com has these fucking retarded wicks, dude. Me and AMD were scalping this. Where were we? I think. What was it, dude? This thing here, dude. I was fucking shitting myself when I seen this thing happen. I was scalping a long, and I literally closed for like 1 pip.
Do those things affect your trades? Those wicks? Do they
No,
stop
it's
you?
just a pricing error, bro. Because
Okay.
if I go in the 1 minute, you're not gonna see it. And before you actually see this one time, but
Yeah, I'm like, oh god, that'd be dangerous.
yeah, dude. I was looking for a short actually here today, but it failed. I was looking for us to kind of, press down from here. I think a few guys did catch this, but overall, it wasn't the safest thing to stay in. So I wasn't looking, I wasn't too keen on it overall. The
See,
thing is, dude,
for this
go for
one,
it.
I've been trying to get it on like a red day is my biggest thing, and wasn't having any luck. So thankfully, when Rand tweeted out saying, "Hey, he bought gold," I was like, "Yes, we'll get a dip." So I actually ended up scaling into this one. I think it'll probably go lower, but I don't want to end up getting caught in a situation again where I miss it again.
So here's the thing, dude. We're testing this yearly level, right? This is super significant. I just want to see like how we interact with this. I think we'll get one more test of it because it's our previous highs as well. And we couldn't really gain it, so it's one of these kind of things that I'm not really. If it is going to rip lower, we are going to see some sort of retest. So I'm not really too bothered about what it does here because I don't think this is going to be the bigger move either way. So even if we do, come down here or something, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's look here.
AMD's bearish on gold actually. Last I talked to him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's pretty bearish on it, but I mean, I'm more of an intraday guy, so I'm looking here somewhere, right? I'm bullish if we can get above here, but this is kind of hold on.
It's
This is a
trying
better
after
spot.
hours.
Yeah. This is a little bit of a better spot right there. The 1552 is on GC. If we get above there, I'm gonna be bullish. But this entire thing, dude, like the way this is approaching our levels, this triple tap is definitely not making me confident on trading this right now. Given what's happening with the Fed and we're expecting a drop on Dixie, I'm not super keen on jumping in on gold in any capacity.
Dime City got you looking into GME.
Oh, GME, dude, let me pull it up.
They screwed over Dime today. Big time. They gapped him down.
Dude, Jesus
And
Christ.
I told
See,
them like
that's
this
the
is
thing
going
with
to four
equities, dude.
dollars now. Well, this was
You know,
more. This was coming. I think Dime just was in kind of denial on this one.
let me pull her up. Fucking hell, dude. Look at my prediction. I got fucked, eh?
Yeah. No
Yeah,
gap
dude.
though.
Down here, this spot here is super important for us to hold, right? This 4.3 level. We charted here fresh because if it doesn't hold here, it's basically fucked because what this is trying to do is it's trying to reverse the trend, and for it to do that, it kind of has to get above what we last lost, right? It's testing it right now. See these lows? That's what we kind of lost. We have this. We have let's see what else. We have up here somewhere. Up here. Let's go weekly. It's a
For the
crap
people
ton
who
of
are
levels,
watching, I hope
but
you guys are watching like where he's drawing his levels and what he's basing them off of, and notice like how he's zooming in after he does draw those macro levels, just to
yeah,
keep an
everybody
eye.
thinks I'm trading on the 1 minute. I'm just getting my entry on the 1 minute. I like to be tight as fuck. That way, like I can't really lose even if I am wrong.
Like I
That's just the
completely
way I
love what
approach
you're
it.
doing because that's exactly what I do. I like start at high and then I go super in, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minute, but at least makes sense to me then.
Yeah. Well, I can break down something in the an hour or something that's moving in Asia if you want on the 1 minute. We can do that as well if you guys want. I'm fine with it. See, down here is like a really important spot for me, the four big figure, but ideally I want to see us hold here somewhere. Like because obviously this is our level. It's kind of tested, but I'm looking down here because it's kind of tested too, to be honest. But generally here somewhere it's a stock, so I'm not going to be just demanding that much precision.
So since you are
It's
a
like
low
an
time
hour.
frame trader, there's a lot of people right now that are on this Shack train because
Shack.
they think that Shack's gonna pull a Beyond Meats and gap fill like it did. Yeah, like Beyond Meats did. And I mean, it did have a really good, nice move after or near the end of the day, but I don't know. But these are the
I
kind of
charted this
things that I
fresh
want to
like
play
just the
like
other.
short term.
I charted this fresh just the other day. I don't know why I didn't save. That's fucking strange. Um, it's definitely accumulating here, right? There's no doubt about that. So when this happens in FX, I'm looking for a deep retracement. In FX, we like to, hit the 70% usually between 618 to let's say 70%, 80, 90% of the time. In FX and sorry, in equities and crypto, I feel like we are not as, we're not as likely to do that kind of setup.
Hmm.
The way I would trade this is I'd be looking for some sort of entry. Let's say, zoom out a little bit more. I like this general level, that level there. Let's go on the weekly and daily and see how that looks. Yeah, I want to see up there somewhere hold. Again, this is an equity, not the market I'm not familiar with, so I'm
Hmm.
going to trade it like a zone instead of a level. But I want to see these highs hold initially, right? Just because we have ripped through that, we've gained this. Right now we're trying to basically stay above here. That's the kind of high we're testing. So if you go lower time frame, and just see what's happening right here, you can see it's trying to reject it, right? So ideally we don't even want to get below here because if you get below here, it's already a little bit iffy. But anything below here is our hard bias. In
Hmm.
that case, I do think it's going to retrace lower. Um, in which case, you have this textbook kind of thing that you see that happens in Asia, right? So if you're trading FX, this is usually Asia, this is London, and this is your expansion. This is a textbook play. Everybody that trades FX,
Yeah, the
is
options move
usually
are
this thing.
disgusting today on this one. They like went 300% from the morning.
Are you serious? Fucking
Yeah,
hell, bro. That's crazy.
yeah, man. That's why I gotta get you on them. Like this was insane. Like these kind of price action moves, like I couldn't even keep up with it. Like I exited way early, right around your purple line. I was like, well, I can't keep up. I
Well,
was
dude, you still made bank, right? Because like that's a pretty big fucking move. That's like what, 2%? That's 159 ticks. That's pretty fucking big, bro. It's like GJ on like the daily.
Yeah, and I've been watching somebody do ES a lot, and they've been doing just like just one single ticks on there, and they've been making like $50 per tick or whatever they're doing on ES. I thought that
Yeah,
was
that's the thing,
great.
dude. ES is liquid enough for you to do shit like that. Other markets, not really.
That's why I want to do.
ES,
That's why I want to do future so bad, because the way he was doing it was just so tight and so quick. I was like, wow, this is like small things, but you're doing it so much that you're walking away with like 68 handles, and if it's $50 a handle, that's not bad for a day's worth of work.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's that's the thing with scalping. A lot of these guys in crypto Twitter get this idea that big money can't scalp. But here's the thing, dude. Like
They're scalping
in
small.
exactly, dude. Like they have high, yeah, but what's the word? They have high frequency traders doing like more than like let's say a normal bank fucking makes in a day, right? Like it's kind of retarded. And secondly, dude, in these markets, you're always going to be a small fish, no matter how much capital you have. Unless you're trading with a few billion, you're a small fish. Like no matter what the fucking NBA says.
Yeah, I would
So
say
that's the thing. I feel like
if you don't have like an algo running for you, you're pretty much a small fish.
certainly, bro, certainly. Let's check the comments here.
Yeah, let's see. We have people wanting to look at Subex, uh,
Subex.
Starbucks.
Let's pull her
This
up.
is one of my favorite ones. I think this is gonna hit $100 this year.
I was very wrong with Starbucks there. I was looking for a short here, but we obviously flipped that. So obviously never fight this momentum. That's what it's kind of showing you with ES. It's like if you see this much pressure, you're not going to try to short this. Even if you can see this move down, it makes more sense going long, right? Um, Overall, what do I see us doing? If you get above here, I don't think we're gonna do like a sharp pullback. I think we'll just keep expanding to new all-time highs because all this looks pretty tested to me. Um, that's just it, dude. Nothing really looks amazing right now, to be honest, like across the board. Nothing looks amazing for swings, in my opinion, at least. I'd maybe take something off on Starbucks here somewhere, dude. Let's see. These open closes here. Check the quarterly. Any significance? Yeah, I think at bottom of that range, that general kind of zone, that could condition that you lost. I'd want to see some sort of reaction there. Now, from there, ideal case would be something like this, and we delay the mainnet and then we go higher. That would be fucking perfect, right? Because in that case, then we could start to distribute and start looking for something that's actually tradable. Because when an asset's at like all-time highs, it's quite hard to actually understand where it's going to go because it's there's not really much price action you can refer to in the back. All you can trade it off is basically inside swing and previous highs.
So I would agree with what you just wrote. Maybe not as low as you wrote, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll probably extend out until about February, maybe March at the
Mm-hmm.
latest, and then it'll probably come back down. But then come June time, it'll explode back up. Is when I'm thinking by the end of the summer, we'll see all-time highs on this.
Well, we have earnings in January, right? So I mean, we might do something like this and then dump from there. We could see that happen. Pardon me. I'm unsure if you're going to see something that significant that fast, but earnings is pretty crazy. I remember trading, well, not really trading, but I was charting some charts with AMD for the earnings plays, and they were fucking crazy. Like people just don't understand how much money you can make in stocks, and it's kind of disgusting. Like it's literally
Yeah,
what
it's
crypto's
just like
advertised to be.
they're like tricked into thinking this, and it's like very sad. I'm like, you guys are just listening to like the news. I'm like, and other people. I'm like, instead of actually being a trader like you claim you are.
Yeah, it's a little sad, but I think it's just how things are going to be. People get sold an idea, they're not going to budge from the idea because they've seen somebody made it. That one person that made it got really lucky. They can't sustain it. That's just the way things are. It's pretty fucked.
Here's one of my bags I'm struggling on. I mean, it's not too bad of a struggle, but little bit is Exxon Mobil. I'm in that one because I'm
What's the
expecting
ticker?
XOM because I'm expecting energy to keep going in oil. So kind of struggled today, like short term. really badly. It almost lost 69, where I was like, ah, man, can't lose this.
Whoops, pardon me. Now this looks fucking interesting here, dude. This is looking very interesting, actually. This needs
Um,
to rip hard in the next 3 months, and it should go up to here
you
somewhere.
said 3 months. My expiration's in March, the end of March. So funny.
It should go up there, to be honest. It's this is looking crazy, bro. I
Oh
mean,
wait,
obviously
Exxon
it's.
Mobil, XOM. That's
Oh, pardon me.
I don't know what that is, but that looks cool too, though.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, the exact opposite.
Yeah, this is looking fucked. um, let's see this. This looks pretty interesting here. I want to see this kind of hold.
And that's literally all I'm hoping for is just to flip up there, and then I'm out.
That's tested, so something lower, maybe here. Uh, this is. We'll see a pause here, maybe like a buy to sell kind of thing, but I don't think any of it's gonna hold. I think you might get up here at best. So what I'll be looking for is either this,
And
then
that's what a
lower.
lot of people are expecting is the what you just drew on the first leg down.
But here's the thing, dude. I'm a reactionary trader, so like I really don't give a fuck where we go first. Like I trade. Well, I can't predict. It's just I'm better at reacting, right? It's just one of these kind of things.
Hmm.
So if you come down here first and we seem to hold support and start accumulating, I'm gonna long from up here, right? The same applies in FX and whatever. I'll draw levels if it goes there. I don't care. That like, that's just how I trade. I don't really try to make predictions,
Yeah.
just because I find it much easier, to jump in and react. And basically, if you react, you can get in so much tighter than if you're trying to predict, right? Because if you're predicting, your stop is going to be, let's say here somewhere, right? Somewhere standard, like below the low, that kind of thing. But if you're reacting, right, if you know that this might hold, if you're reacting on like say the 5 or 1 or 15 or whatever time frame that you find suitable, right, you can cut in much tighter, and that's just the way it works because price is fractal, right? So what's happening in all time frames is basically what's happening with the monthly is in control, and it's trying to pass it down to the lower time frames. So obviously you're going to see the changes first in the lower time frames, but they're going to get absorbed as well, right? So a lot of people fuck that up because they don't understand like what roles the 15-minute counter plays on the daily, and then what that plays in the scope of a monthly and then a yearly. Should we break down some more outs or some forex pairs or something?
Yeah, I was just going through what people are saying in chats. Thank you for joining, Nicer Man. We'll catch you later. Yeah, let me go through a list of a few things I have on. Let's see what your opinion on these are. Where's my charts? All right. Yeah, for me this year, the biggest things I want to play is because if I assume that stock market's just going to keep going up and we're just going to keep pumping without any kind of retrace until at least until next year, because now we're getting news coming out basically saying that we're going to be finalizing this China deal, but not until phase two or until the election is over or some stuff like that. It's more news is coming out today, which just sounds like they're BSing everything.
Mhm.
So with that being said, the one that I'm really, really bullish on is these Marvel MRVL ticker. That's one I
Ooh, that looks clean as fuck, by the way. I like your charts.
thank you. Yeah, this is basically what I'm playing over here. Once I can get a clear, well, I'm betting a little bit earlier. I got in down here, so I'm betting for a clear over here in the next
Oh
couple
yeah, that's gonna
weeks.
rip right through. It might do a triple tap. That's the only thing I'd be a little bit concerned about. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna rip through. Do me a solid and zoom out a little bit on the monthly.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's gonna rip right through. I think that looks really good.
Sweet. Yeah, this is and plus like we're on our monthly level right here, so just a little bit more of a push from this end. I think we'll get
Mhm.
going on this. So I'm not expecting too much higher, but my targets are $30 on this, and I think that'll be plenty.
If I was scalping this and this was say like a 15-minute chart or something on FX, I would probably be cutting something there just to kind of pay your risk, and that way you can't really lose. You see that gap right there? I
Short.
don't want to see that get lost. Yeah, I want to see that hold, that general kind of area that you're outlining, that 2640 ish, something like that.
Yep.
I'm just eyeing it from your chart. That would be perfect. Yeah.
A little bit of a concern down there, but we'll see what happens. I think we flip over, we'll go. But I wouldn't mind getting it back down here and just buying it in one last time. because that's
Hmm.
still within mid range for me. So like something like what you said before on the other ones like that.
Yeah. The thing is, dude, you don't really want to lose that congestion, that thing right there, because then you've kind of flipped the structure, right? And then in
Hmm.
that case, I would personally be looking for shorts. With that said, it doesn't mean it's gonna dump after that kind of thing happened. That's just one of the setups I trade a lot. So
The one stock that's related to that is this Xilinx one. So
yeah. Mhm.
long term, I think it'll probably end up reaching the same price action this is, because this is at $99 and there's it's finally flipping and it ended up holding this monthly zone, which I'm really interested in seeing if it holds. Probably gonna have to wait until I would say probably April to see if I want to get in.
Let me pull that up.
XLNX semiconductors, they've just been on an absolute tear this year.
Oh, dude, I remember me and AMD were looking at this. This thing looks so fucked. It's ridiculous. Have you seen Palladium, by the way?
No, I saw a couple people talking about that one. What's the ticker for that one?
PA1, bro. And then it's just the futures.
Oh,
Yeah, it's you, bro. This first one, that's it.
oof,
That thing is looking retarded, eh?
oof, man, and it cleared over 2,000. Yeah, somebody was telling me to buy buy like a bar of this. Then I looked up the price. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah, bro. With XLNX, I would be looking for a pop off of 94.39, and then a test of 110.31. That should yield you roughly, let's say, 17%, 1600 ticks. It's looking pretty fucking solid, man. This thing looks retarded. The only problem is it's because of where it's sitting right now. It's a make or break setup. So either the area kind of holds or it's gonna dump aggressively.
Pull that back up.
Oh, dude, I'm a
Oxy's
little
the other
jealous, bro.
one.
With TrendSpider. I really
Yeah?
want to use their platform, dude. It's so fucking sick. But they've got problems with FX right now. I spoke to the guys and they're planning on fixing it pretty soon. So yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy their the raindrop candles of theirs. Because they're combined with like volume and stuff. So sometimes, at least when I'm like
Mhm.
scalping stuff,
Yeah.
they've been super helpful. At least on Bitcoin, at least I've been practicing it on there.
For me, dude, it just means I can use a bunch of scripts and it makes my life so much fucking easier. And I don't actually have to draw shit out myself, and it's just kind of there for me. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like their pattern stuff?
Yeah, like some of their stuff I use. I don't use all of it because I'm price action, but a lot of it is makes my life so much easier.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job. Oxy's another
Yeah,
one
dude.
that I'm in that broke out
Oh,
of a
dude, I've
falling
seen
wedge.
I've seen a lot of people talk about that. Let me pull that up.
I so regret this one. I got out once it broke through. I was like, well, I'm already up 150%. I'm like, I gotta get out of this, and it's just been ripping. And it's to the
Huh,
next
what the
target too,
fuck
which
is
I
up with
should have
that chart?
stayed into. So I think next target's finally gonna be
You should
50.
probably get a test of 45.56 at some point. That's where we're looking for a buy, to be honest.
That'd be
Maybe a
great.
little bit lower. Let me check the monthly. Yeah, between 45.56 and 44.67, I'd be looking for some sort of pop. Now, if I check the weekly, um, yeah, dude, that's already tested. So personally, I'd be looking at a 44.67 followed by, let's say, 42.09. I don't really want to see us go lower than that. I want to see us kind of maintain this momentum and not kind of retrace too deeply. If I had to gamble on one level, it would be 42.09 on Oxy. Now for the upside target, it's contained. You see, it's not really, it can't really rip higher without having to clear a lot of resistance. So
Yeah.
personally, for me, if I check the monthly, not much clarity on the monthly to be honest. But let's see.
See, for the meme,
Yeah,
for the monthly, I see 49.64 at max.
I see 50.23, assuming we can get above this current high that we're trading towards right now. My boy, my boy B just hit me up saying long PCG. Pull it up.
Oh, dude, that chart has been pissing me off so much because the stock's so volatile, it's insane. Like all these wicks, and they're so good for options trading. It's so scary doing them because they lose value so quick.
Holy fuck! Yo, this thing on the quarterly looks disgusting.
Here, let me switch to your chart. Hang on. All right, you can
Let me
take
switch
over.
screens. Yo, this thing looks fucking disgusting. Fuck, dude. I don't know why you would. Yeah, I guess you could buy to sell it somewhere there. Let me get some more context.
Wait, did you take over your
Monthly.
screen?
Oh, did I? Oh, it's a wrong one. Pardon me, guys. All right, can you guys see everything?
All right, now it's back to normal.
Perfect, dude. So for this, for the way I trade this, I'd like to see basically here somewhere having to hold, bro. Let's say
Yo, bad
this
girls,
general
good
area.
weed. What's up? Yeah, we'll go over some weed stocks. That's actually a good idea. They might be bottomed out. They're actually at great monthly levels. All right, what
Yeah,
about
dude.
PCG? Oh, look
No
at that
lower than
weekly gap.
77.51 and then filling up to like 17.41.
Man,
So the way I'd be playing this is either along there or short down there. That's a fucking massive move, man. Jesus Christ. That's like 1,000 ticks and 133%. Fucking hell.
let's see what
That's nuts.
options does on that one. That'll probably be an insane move with options.
CGC?
All
Oh,
right,
dude, I haven't looked
so
at CGC in a while.
we'll do a paper trade on as a stream paper trade. Let's pull up something for PCG. All right, when do you think it'll hit like just a
Ah, shit, dude.
time around period for
Pressure's on, eh? The
yeah,
pressure's on.
it's paper trade.
All right, so
uh
the options, well, not the options, sorry. The earnings are on the 10th of February, right?
yeah, so even worse, you can even calculate in like
13th.
worst case earnings. So if you buy yourself some time, I think it'll be
Mhm.
fine. But who knows? If you want to do it shorter, you can. It's just a
If
matter of
you're
you got to
the
pick
way
a
I would play
strike in
this
time.
with timings is if you're up here towards earnings just short, if you're down here towards earnings long. That's how I would play this, honestly.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Let me just pull something up then.
Chart Doge. All right, bro. All right, I got you.
Everybody needs it. All right.
Let's find my
PCG.
there we go. Second chart. I've
What's
got
the
Doge
date
charted
that?
here, I
What
think.
date is the earnings?
10th or the 14th in that general kind of zone.
Okay. All
All right,
right.
Casper, bro. My homie, this is my chart on Doge. It's old ass fucking chart. I still think we're gonna go down to 19 to 20-ish. I wouldn't short here. It's you're approaching weekly support. It's kind of retarded to short, even if it's tested. It's gonna rip right through it, right? But I wouldn't short this, right? It's illiquid as fuck. So I would personally be looking for longs down here at 1.9. Um, if you get above here, if you get above, let's say 4.7, then I think we're going to go much higher to, let's say, 9.6, which is a 106% move. Now, I typically play confirmations. I don't jump in on, say, the low or the high. I'll be jumping in low, the confirmation there, then seeing if you can gain resistance, that kind of thing. With crypto, the way I'd be playing this, if you get above here, because this is a weekly chart, it's pretty much guaranteed to go higher. At that point, I'll just risk 2% and put 2% into Doge on Binance and not having to give a fuck about managing the trade. That's how I play it.
That Doge analysis. It's kind of weak. I'm really surprised it's lagging behind.
Yeah, dude. A bunch of my guys, Iron Crypt and Crypto Shadow, shout out to them two. They've been fucking nailing these outs, bro. Like I was looking for a press lower on EOS and stuff, but these guys fucking nailed it. A
Oh,
meme
dude,
chart on
EOS
EOS.
was probably the easiest trade. Like the consolidation zone in EOS was like for all summer long.
I'm looking for another press down here, dude. I still think we get down to, let's say, 4826. This is a chart I put on Twitter a couple while back, a couple weeks back. I want to see this kind of thing happen. To me, I think this is not going to be able to hold. Can I be wrong? 100%. This is not a market I'm trading actively, so I don't really care what's happening.
To the
All I
USD
know is
pairs.
the seconds when we get down here, I'm looking for longs, USD, Coinbase or Binance.
Binance is fine. I mean, I do Coinbase, but people prefer
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, that's
Moon.
textbook, eh? For me, I don't want to see us. I ideally just want to see us get above here and hold that level. Uh,
We have
I think that's
actually
gonna open the
13 minutes more
gates.
until daily close too.
Yeah, shit, dude. I think we'll see a pretty big move on yen. I'm pretty interested in that. Yeah, I think 3.225 should hold on EOS. Anything below that, I'm not going to be confident on too much.
My mind's still blown. This thing is worth over $1.
I'm so surprised crypto's still going. Like 100% honest with you. Like genuinely surprised.
Yeah, it's an interesting space. All right.
Somebody said US oil. All right, CL. I charted this the other day though. I
That's a
think I
scam, man. It was
what
kind of pissing me
CL,
off. Yeah, because all the action for CL happened after hours. Nobody retail got to play any of the good action for it.
bro. Dope Trades has been raping CL. Like it's not a market that I'm amazing with, so I don't touch it too much. But dude, that guy has fucking smashes CL like it's nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of like fundamentals that people read into this stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. These markets like CL, ES, and shit are like
I
pretty
call that the
sensitive to
bomb. I call that
fundamentals.
the bombing pump. Basically, this is the bombing
Dude,
pump and dump.
I literally nearly vomited when I seen USD when I seen dollar yen like rip 77 pips. Like AMD ring me up and stuff like late at night. So they're talking to me and shit, and like I couldn't even process what he was saying, dude. I was like literally panicking. I don't know, dude. He just strung me the wrong way, you know. Yeah, I mean we're holding this level, so I mean it's kind of working out. I just want to see it's accumulating. Yeah, I mean this is textbook as fuck. I'd probably long here for Mac. You know what? I might just put this call out. This looks pretty good. All right. If I was to trade this, the way I trade this is let's say cut something here, set the kind of gap just before that. It's like what, a couple 70 ticks or something? Yeah. Um, if I was trading this, something like this is how I trade it. I mean, obviously, I'm a lower time frame trader, so I wouldn't enter on the 2 hour. My entry would be on like the 5-1. But generally something like this, cut cut half of around 58.84 with the rest up to let's say 61. That's 6.7 on the fucking 2 hour. Like if I'm on the 1 minute, I can probably get this down to like 10, 11, whatever.
I can feel some war news coming up this
Oh,
weekend.
dude, don't say that.
Not that it's good, but I could feel it.
I could see that happen. I think the whole market's pretty tight. I think it's waiting for some sort of catalyst. I don't know what it's going to be exactly. I think we're going to see something though.
Oh, here's your options trade I pulled up. So, shits and giggles, okay? Let's just say you were like, all right, I want to buy some calls on that PCG tomorrow, and you're expecting it to hit $16 at the very minimum by the end of February. So what it breaks down here, let me see if you can see my screen. You should be able to. Wait, no, everybody else can.
No, it's all right, dude. I can full screen Twitch. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, perfect. All right. So on my end of things over here, as long as it doesn't lose 1280 for you before the end of January, and it does end up reaching up to that price action to where, let's say, the beginning of February, it's already up at 1560 and you're about to clear 16, you're looking at
Mhm.
least 214 to 250% profit. I mean, if you wait it out, it'll be less, and if it price stays lower, obviously it's bad news bears.
I don't mind like waiting towards the what's it called, the earnings, and then buying it like 2 weeks out. That's just the way I've been taught to trade options.
Yeah.
Even if I'm scalping, just buy 2 weeks out and have some sort of time, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
there's
dude.
some earnings plays that I wait until afterwards. Mostly like the tech stocks is what I do that way, is I wait for them to finish up, and as long as the earnings wasn't bad and they're not a shitty company, I'll just end up going gung ho
Yeah.
in. Disney's another one that everybody's looking
Oh,
forward
Disney.
to.
Oh, dude, I fumbled the bag so hard on Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's
nothing suspect
ridiculous.
to
I
you.
was looking for shorts, dude. I was looking for shorts. Hopefully, I haven't cleared this chart. No, I have. I was
I mean,
looking
it
for
has a
shorts
gap
like,
down for sure, like a huge gap, which is super concerning. But
dude, I'm not shorting this thing. Look at it, dude.
yeah, it broke out of that long consolidation, so I think it's ready to go for more this year. And they keep
Like a little
buying out
congestion
everything.
there. We have to get below here, dude. Until we, don't do that, it's gonna keep making all-time highs, I think. Yeah. Here's somewhere. That's how I trade it. What is this? To be honest, I think this is gonna probably make a new all-time high. Pop around here somewhere, like aggressive pop, and then just rip higher. With that said, if you get below here, I think the moon is gonna be cancelled, and then we'll probably retrace down at least down here somewhere. If not, just to fill that gap. So this looks pretty volatile as well. When is the earnings for this?
They're actually coming up on February.
Hmm.
So I doubt they report bad earnings, especially with all the movies that are coming out. They just did really good on the recent movie that just came out. I don't know. I could always go back previously and see how they've done on earnings, but even if they've done bad on earnings, they've popped shortly after. Like they did bad in August, but come November, they're way up.
The thing is with this specifically, like it's slowing down as it's approaching this. So I do think we're going to see something significant. That doesn't mean we can't make an all-time high, then just dump down like a drop to pop and test here somewhere, then aggressively pop away from that. That wouldn't surprise me either too much.
What else stickers do
Um,
I got for you? Did you already do so? Yeah, I don't think we did silver. What are your thoughts on silver so
Silver?
far?
I haven't looked at silver in a while, bro. Let me pull it up. Let's see. XAG USD. I started it for AMD's grip, bro, like a while back. I think it's this chart. This is what I was looking at, dude. Um, this was a plan. It's pretty much fucked now, so I'm gonna chart this fresh. All right,
That's my
higher
plan, but
time
for like a
frames.
longer term.
Yeah, higher time frames. I mean, I wouldn't. Again, nothing looks like amazing to engage with, like personally here. Nothing's setting up higher time frames, so all you really have is scalps, basically, right? And a lot of people get triggered, but that's just the market in my eyes right now. It's nothing to jump into and hold much for. I think it's gonna retrace, dude. We might hold here somewhere. This general kind of support gained like right there. That 17619 level. I wouldn't be surprised we hold that, and that's like a little level lower time frame here somewhere. Bang on, yeah.
Are you able to
I mean,
explain to people about the reactionary levels and things like that? Just because I understand what you're saying, but I think it might be helpful if people
of
understand
course.
what you mean by that.
So obviously, I can't go too much into depth with this kind of stuff because that's just gonna get me trouble. But monthly time frame, that's where we got our levels from. We zoomed the fuck out, right? Yeah, all the levels start higher time frame for me, right? Even if I'm scalping 1 minute, everything's at least a 4 hour minimum, right? Because in my eyes, it's high time frame support resistance. That's basically what you're trading, right? For me, this is what we're contained inside, right? So until we get below here, we're still bullish, right? I don't care about any of this shit because right now, this is what brought us up, right? So until we're stuck inside here, we're still basically bullish, right? With that said, if you get below here, then I'm gonna look for a retest, right? So coming down to the reactionary thing, if we see a movement like this, or like a range or whatever the fuck, but just to get the point across, right? I want to see basically accumulation occur down here, and then I look for basically 5 or 6 patterns, and I enter from that, right? Now, for me, it's very mechanical. It does the same thing every time frame, so that's why I'm basically always on the 1 minute doing that kind of shit. But yeah, dude, it's basically the same thing on the weekly, the monthly, the fucking yearly. It doesn't matter, dude. All time frames do the same thing. All charts do the same thing. I'd like to see basically us, I don't want to see us get above here. It's okay if we do that though, but I just personally like us to kind of leave the gap open. And, you know, highest we should go would be somewhere like here. Let's say 17.9. Um, to get like a better condition, I don't want to see a daily close above 17.9. With that said, it can wick up there, just not a close above it, right? A weekly close above it, I'm 100% wrong, in which case we're probably going to go up and probably, I mean, we'll test here somewhere because that's a previous high. Let's see, like that. But in that case, I do think we're probably going to rip through and probably rip even higher. Maybe test up here somewhere.
Yeah, I bought some
Mm,
out of the money calls for this one. I mean, when I tell you my target, you're probably gonna laugh. It's I bought some calls for $28.
$28. Wow.
So those are far out. But
I mean, here's the thing, dude. It's not unlikely for that to occur if this is what we think it is, right? But if this fails, if this entire setup fails, right? Like for me, the hard line, the line in the sand would be here somewhere. Let's say 15.53s.
oh, that'd be terrible.
If, yeah, if that shit fails, then we can't get down there. But I wouldn't be too surprised if we actually do test like 27,650 ish.
Because
Actually,
like
that
on
kind
the
of
monthly, it
zone.
looks like each month it's like just consolidating in this zone, at least on the monthly that you had pulled up. So it makes me
Yeah, I
wonder if
mean,
it's like gonna pop up out of here.
let me pull this. Let me pull the futures. Hold on.
Because I hate
Yeah,
saying monthly
like
flag, but
nah,
almost.
that's all right, dude. Nothing wrong with it. Um,
See, I don't pull up the yearly often. I really probably should do that more often.
yeah, you should, dude. It's one of these kind of things. It's like it can help you find these. Like that's gonna be significant. It doesn't even matter where we are. Like that's just gonna be significant. That kind of thing. Yeah, dude. For me personally, it has to clear above. Let's say, is that significant? I don't know, dude. A little higher. Like let's say here somewhere, dude. That looks clean to me. Let's calibrate it with here. Yeah, for me, somewhere there, dude, like 27,925 on the futures is what I'm looking for, assuming we hold here. And you can see how, relevant that level ends up being, right? On the yearly, we couldn't even see the composite of this trend up. I don't want to see us below here, dude. Let's say 15.35, 305-ish, like, this general kind of level there. Again, it's nothing looks amazing. Like it is what it is, right? I'm not gonna say sit here and be like, oh yeah, long everything. It's nothing to me looks astonishing. That's why I'm just scalping aggressively the past couple of days. And probably will be like this for the rest of the month, to be honest. Nothing is outstandingly clear to me either. I want to see that level hold or 17.5s. Can move up to your upper target? Certainly. I mean, when you kind of look at what's happening on the weekly, it's accumulating, right? It's accumulating on the weekly. It doesn't really matter what the fuck the 15 is gonna do. It's gonna get absorbed, right? That's what people don't understand about lower time frames. They always say, people talk the talk, but they can't really execute lower time frames. These CT guys, bro, talking about price being fractal. I mean, I think we all know.
Oh man.
Up here somewhere, dude. Up here. Let's say 25, 941, 227, 28, 5 ones. We have to clear 23.305. If we fail that, I do think it's going to go lower. That's just what I think. That's how I play it.
Yeah, because I'm aiming for like basically the way I'm playing my options is like right now I understand that they're worth absolutely nothing, and I bought them at absolutely nothing, so they're not going to move unless price action moves. But in my eyes, with these kind of options, basically once we clear that $20 level and we start moving into the 21, I think that's when people are going to start noticing, hey, once we clear that 23 level that you have drawn right over there, there's
Mhm.
plenty more space up, even if it's only to 26. And at that point, my like 1 cent to 10 cent calls are going to turn into a couple dollars, and I'd be really
Nah, man,
happy.
that totally makes sense. I think when you kind of look at this, there's basically nothing stopping it once we get above here, right? So it's going to be pretty fast and parabolic. It shouldn't take a lot of time for us to basically clear this. And looking at this entire thing, it's a weekly accumulation, so it should just rip right through it if we are right on this, right? If this fails and we go lower, then that's something to be worried about. But here's the thing: like when we're accumulating, we can go lower, right? So this is why I'm not really sold on EOS. Let me pull that up. It's a really good example of this. So I'm not sold on this because what I think is going to happen, it's kind of like silver, right? It's like accumulating, and yeah, it's looking great and stuff, right? But I still think we come down here somewhere, two fours, right?
I don't
Um,
like that weekly rejection that we just got off that one wick.
because here's the thing, dude, we're not really bullish until we get above here because we're still contained inside of this, right? So like for us to actually go higher, we have to get above there. It's like that simple. This momentum, I wouldn't short it. I mean, sure, that gap fill meme shit, it can work, right? I mean, it's not for me, but I wouldn't short it. So for me, if you lose, like, let's say 3 5s, I do think we're going to go lower. And I do think in this specific case, it's not going to be able to gain this. I think it's just going to pop and fail. With silver, I do want to see it kind of gain higher, but this thing here, if this distributes and this whole thing gets absorbed on the way down, because you've got to understand, dude, what we are accumulating on the weekly, this is what the fucking yearly looks like. You can't really fight a yearly with a weekly. I mean, sure, it's composited off it, but it's not going to
Hmm.
be able to overpower it, if that makes sense, right? So another like down here wouldn't surprise me too much, somewhere down there. Um, the thing is, if in our lifetimes we do see like a move down here to 6-ish, I'm gonna basically long in and like take loans and shit just to go long, because I do think that pop is gonna be ridiculous, just in that general kind of area there somewhere.
Silver, silver. What else do we have? The two that really got me this year were GE. I refuse to play again. I probably should. GE
GE.
got me because that was when I first started trading options and stocks in general, and I didn't realize like how these levels like really work more in stock world. So kind of got screwed on that one. That one just flew right off the monthly levels and the weekly levels, and then United States Steel, which is just X. That's another one. I should have bought myself more time.
Here's a go for GE, dude. I think 12.49 is distributing. I'd probably short it up there if we can slow down and lose something. I'm looking for something like this, dude, on GE. Again, reactionary. So that's what I'm looking for. That doesn't need to happen for me to short it. That's just one of the scenarios I'm looking for. Something similar to that. Doesn't have to do that kind of thing, but general idea.
That makes more sense to
X.
me because underneath around 850 is when CNBC was shilling that some guy was buying out tons of shares at that price. So I think it's
Dude, I'm
probably
so
about time.
salty. This was like the first stock I looked at, and I was looking down here somewhere, and it was
Ugh.
like ridiculous. I was like,
Yeah,
it's gonna
same.
pop.
That's when I got screwed then there. I was like, well, I got screwed on my options. It's probably gonna go lower. Then I realized that, oh, when things die like that, they probably pop back up.
Yeah. So generally speaking, bro, like if you make a new leg down, you are eventually gonna go back and retest what you last lost. It's just how trend works, right? That's gonna happen. So you're always gonna have some sort of way to jump in. This is why I never really care too much about catching, let's say, the absolute top or the absolute bottom. Let's say you're looking for this bottom. You're gonna see instead of this leg up, you're gonna see like a composite like this. And oftentimes this secondary move down here is going to be the faster one with the least drawdown compared to down here because it's going to accumulate and slow down before it can move up, right? Because you got to understand price is mechanical, so it can't just YOLO trend up and down. I mean, in altcoins it can, but that's like one specific market. In every other market, that's not really the case, right? I think I've got X charted too. I was actually breaking that down with a guy on a session once a few weeks back. So I was looking for it, dude. I think we're looking for yellow to get gained. We gained it, didn't hold or support. We got like a small pop here somewhere.
And it was just the dumbest news too. Like if I would have even sold on the news, I would have made even more money than I would have had kept it along. Because they basically dumped on news that like factories were going bad, and then after that, they lost even more of the zone.
This might pop, bro. I'd keep
I
an eye on
know
this.
everybody's telling me the same thing. I'm like, of
Dude, this thing
course.
might rip hard, like really hard. I wouldn't probably engage with it here. I'd honestly just wait till we can get above, let's say 11.68 ish.
I bet you it does
From
this next
there.
week because my options expire this Friday.
Oh, dude, it's always like that, right?
Every time my things expire that like I lose on, they pop a week after. I'm like, fuck, I just wish I would have bought a little more time. That's why I like playing things with longer swings now rather than the
Bro,
short-term ones.
one of my guys scouts options. I'm not gonna name him here. But he scouts options and like every single time, bro. Like every single time because I'm always awake for Asia, right? Around the close, they do some fucking wonky shit and they move the market, right? And he's always like, "Fuck, I got," He doesn't really get
Yeah.
wrecked because he knows how to manage positions and whatnot, right? But it's just shit seeing that happen. And the thing is, around like let's say the Tokyo price fixing, that's usually when that move that is going against him reverses, and I'm always in that fucking move like every time.
Yeah, and that's what people don't realize. Like I mean, yeah, there's manipulation in like these regular stock markets, but it's literally on a schedule. It's not like crypto where it's like, oh, we're gonna decide to do this today and
Dude,
pump
it's a fucking
BSV.
scam. Have you seen the state of FX? Like, it's literally a scam. Let me show you something, dude.
It's all
Pick,
timing.
yeah, it's dude. You can literally trade this shit with just time. Pick any FX chart you want. Doesn't matter which one, bro. Pick anyone you want.
All right, let's see. I got one for you.
And before you pick something like Euro Try or something.
Alright, let's see. Forex, let's go to USD, SEK.
Oh, for fuck's sake, bro. You know what doesn't even matter. SEK, sec what?
Swedish krona or krona.
Against what? What do you want to trade it with?
USD. Alright, I fucks with
Even this,
it.
bro. If you just fucking fade London, like you're gonna make stupid money. Look, dude, blue's London. You just fade fucking London, make stupid money, bro.
What's the red?
That's London close. That's like no, sorry, this is not on the right time. Hold on, let me fix this.
Yeah, look, you can if you short the blue line every open at the top of the day.
There
Most
you
time
are,
it ends
dude.
up
This is
being
London.
profitable.
This is London, dude. You fade London every day, you make money. Like it's literally this fucking retarded. And people lose money in forex. It
Yo, what the fuck is
fries me, dude.
that?
It's literally this much of a scam, dude. And people are like, "Oh, my fundamentals." It's like, bro, just fade London. Like you don't have to make it complicated. I mean, you
That's so
can.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, certainly, right? You can do all this crazy shit, but if you're bored, you need to trade, you need money, just fade London. It's that simple. You'll make
Yeah,
money.
fade
Literally,
London.
bro. Dude, it doesn't matter what chart. It's all the same shit. Like, look, dude,
You're broke,
fade
you're
London.
hungry, fade London.
Yeah, dude. Basically, you need to pay rent, fade London, dude. Look at this shit. Every time, bro.
Wow, that's insane. Doesn't matter what
Yeah,
it is.
it really doesn't, dude. I can pick anything. Just you choose, dude.
Even gold.
What people don't understand, dude, is like these markets are so like they're so fucking ridiculously manipulated, and like you can use that to your advantage as long as you know how to take advantage of these kind of things and not fall into the trap of waiting for news and whatnot. You can just
Is that
make
an
stupid money
indicator, or
like
is that
here.
just like the timer thing on TradingView?
Oh, it's just no, it's just like an indicator that I've got. But you can just use any kill zone kind of thing. It should basically give you the same thing. The comments are going up, bro. Somebody's asking for tickers. Yeah, sure, we'll take some tickers.
All right, what are they? What kind of tickers you guys got? Somebody, yeah. Oh, Casper. Those start. Those start. Those start. Yo, where's Nightbot? Nightbot's not doing his job at all in this stream chat. What a shame. All right, what charts?
My homie
Amazon.
asked me to chart a PO BDC, and that's just like a
What's
little bit iffy.
that? Sounds familiar.
I haven't looked at this shit in like I don't know how long, bro.
PBSG.
I used to trade this stuff when I was learning how to trade outs when before all the FX
Oh,
shit.
Poet.
Yeah, this
Oh,
looks
that's a
fucked.
throwback.
I feel bad for people, bro. This thing looks fucked.
Oof, man, this has just been the future of writing documents and posting them on here. What happened?
I don't think half these outs are ever gonna.
No, never. I don't think so either.
Yeah,
Like they don't even have a use case unless somebody buys them out and or they have like patents on their code or something. I don't think it's gonna work.
it's even if they have patents on their code, it's like somebody could just buy the patent. Yeah, it's probably gonna make more sense doing that or just making your own patent,
Yeah, they're probably
as
so
opposed
broke.
to
They're like, all right, you guys can just buy it.
yeah. Did you ask for Amazon? Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon's one that I want to do long call options for just because A, the short-term volatility of these options like on the small time frames is absolutely nuts. So I want to grab something for at least the gap fill up at where your blue line is.
Me and AMD were looking at this. I was looking for a pop here somewhere. We didn't get what we wanted, but we didn't close above it, so close below it. So I mean, it was still kind of valid.
Earnings
Not the
dip was a
reaction I was looking
scam.
for. Oh yeah, dude, look at this. It's like NFP week, right?
They like gave
It
that to
looks
the market
wild.
makers.
With this right now, dude, it's trying to gain support. So we're how to play this, dude. Probably don't want to see us get below. Yeah, I don't want to see us get below 1827, 26-ish. Just kind of wick here. Just that general kind of zone, high of the congestion. Let's just say this zone here, just to make it a little easy. Again, this is a stock. I'm not going to trade lists like Forex. So, I'll be looking for this kind of thing to happen. And then an aggressive pull down, new lows from there. With that said, it hasn't really lost shit. So I mean, it's if you hold here, we can probably rip right through this and make a new all-time high too. So
I think it's
we're
more gonna
sitting
lean
right
on
now,
that just because they have so much stuff that they're probably gonna release this year.
yeah, and especially we kind of tie that into what's happening on the higher time frames. Like I probably wouldn't fight this.
Monthly flag. Or
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't fight that. I mean,
oh
once you're below
man.
here, yeah, short the shit out of it. But till then, there's no point. There's no real reason to even engage with anything on the selling side, unless you're scalping, of course. That's a different kind of environment.
Another one that I have been watching as far as correlations goes, HD and lows. Those are two that HD
What's it?
that's what AMD told me to watch and correlate with SPY is
What's
HD.
what's the ticker?
HD
Oh, HD.
Harry Delta. Home
Um,
Depot. The first one.
that's Home Depot, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the stock was actually called Harry Delta.
No, 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 no,
My
yeah.
bad. um, hmm. If this was Forex and this was like a 5 minute chart, I'd short the living crap out of this.
That's the eventual goal of this whole market.
Yeah. Um, Short below here, maybe here. Like the way I trade this, something like this, dude. Let's see. Press down here, retest of what we last lost. This is how I shorted it. That's it.
For me, it had a
This,
daily channel, and we broke out of the daily channel, which it had. So that's bad for that.
but I mean, right now, dude, there's like really no reason to short this because we're still more bullish than we are bearish, right? I mean, we have lost this, so you might get a pullback into here somewhere.
I like how we
Let's
held
see.
215 on that, like strong. We bounced right off of it. And now I'm looking for some clear over at least 225. If we clear that, I think we'll go to 233. Oh, look, you have 233 drawn at the top as your range. That's so funny.
Yeah, I think here's somewhere, dude. I think you're right. I'm with you on this. I think I would like us to fail here, not be able to actually gain this, and then press lower down to here, then go higher. That would be ideal. Doesn't mean it will happen. If you get up here first, I should probably look for shorts down here, like a sell to buy, that kind of thing. I would pretty much certainly bet 100% like put like a a small long in here somewhere. Just buy this. It's gonna be a pretty big move. Because if you go up here, right, we do something like this, and assuming that, we basically, the best way I can kind of describe this, if you look at CL,
Next week we have order flow
so
players for that HD play aiming for 225.
yeah, down, bro. You see how it's kind of climbing up like this? If you see something like that happen, bro, on HD, I would short the living crap out of it here, and then I would long it to like new all-time highs. That's how I play this.
Yeah, I think your patience style would do definitely good in options.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
have you learned
I'm a
about them so
scalper.
far, as far as like what you know about them?
So I know like I know the Greeks, right? Can't remember them off the top of my head, but I basically know what each one does. But again, I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head. AMD sat with me for hours. I've got notes on this stuff.
That's good.
So I mean, yeah, I know all this, right? Everybody's telling me get into options because you're basically pre-managing your risk. There's no basically room for error on that regard. So I'm very keen to jump in next month. But it's I'm just not that great at ES. I just don't trade it that much for me to kind of, you know, trade options full time tomorrow, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean those ES options I stay away from. It's just, I mean
Plus five.
there's been a bunch of like different ways that people have been playing. Here's one that just popped up. Somebody just mentioned was low. Low. I have a player coming up on order flow. The only guy today expecting 125 by April.
I charted this for AMD like God knows how long ago.
See, I don't like the fact that it's been trending up, but it's trending up on a trend line, which if it breaks, I guess we won't do too good. I
You
don't even
basically want to short if you can't really. This is not looking great.
I don't even know how I pushed through that last monthly.
Well, because we're at all time highs, you just basically want to map out previous highs and pop off that. It's really simple. I don't want to see us lose. Let's say 116. We get below there. I think it's gonna come down here somewhere. Let's say here. Conservatively, I think we come down to at least 102. So, and I mean, just yeah, I see what you're talking about. It's kind of making like a rising wedge, if you will, from here as well. So that Peter Brandt shit.
There you go.
I wouldn't short it here personally, but I mean, if your system is giving you like a trigger here, I'd take it. It's not a bad one. It's
No,
like the
all
risk
year
is
long,
definitely in your
all
favor.
my indicators that have signaled any kind of short signal have
Mhm.
rarely worked ever.
Well, I mean, you're making all-time highs on the fucking yearly, so it is gonna get absorbed, right? I mean, probably not even bounce off here anymore. Your only level it's gonna hold, I think, is 1116. If you get below there, maybe down here somewhere. Let's see here. What level is this? 10729, but ultimately I do think we come down to 102s.
AMD was also
Now,
the one that was telling me about if I ever wanted to like hedge myself against like an economy meltdown to like toss money into like things like this, which have like
oh,
those
bro,
gaps and like that have like those lower targets.
AMD is one smart guy with like how he goes about hedging. He's honestly told me like the way I should probably go about trading now is well, not right now, but in the following few months is like I should like trade spot future not future sites, trade spots stocks and basically hedge everything in options.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that's literally all I want to do now that I've got into options. Like I have like some money set aside to where I like doing long like short-term trades, but mostly it's basically, hey, if I know where a stock's going to be going in the general direction of it, why not hedge myself in an option which will bang me out hundreds of percent.
Exactly. You can't really lose that way either, right? Because you're basically paying your risk, if you will. You're basically hedging your risk in that way. Oh, Torre. I haven't looked at Torre in a fucking while. Let's pull it
Oh
up.
yeah, yeah, weed stocks. There's a bunch. Yeah, that's one that I don't.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez, it already popped today. Wow, disgusting.
Fuck me.
And like
I
the
mean, this
thing
is
is that
textbook,
it's
right?
all FOMO. Like one popped off and everybody started going crazy.
It's like
CGC's
a
the one
CGC
that went and everybody started buying every single pot stock there was.
textbook, bro. Textbook.
The
Look at the
monthly
shit.
pop was great.
That was so fucking textbook. It's ridiculous. Yeah, dude. I'd probably short maybe 26.5 forward, but again, this is not
That's
forex,
so
so
high.
yeah, this is not forex. So I mean, just wait for it to get up there, or maybe long down here somewhere. This kind of general congestion. I like here, dude. This looks pretty nice to me. This general 21.31, that gap, all that kind of stuff there. That looks nice to me. I would like this to hold, but I guess we'll see.
We got MJ2 on the
Yo,
list.
you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh shit, I think my headphones cut out. Give me 2 seconds, bro.
You're good. Order flow for today. Near close. SPY calls. IWM puts. QQQ puts on close. TLT puts on close. BYND. Let's check something else. We're gonna check biotech and healthcare for you biotech and healthcare fans. PRGO calls right off close. Ooh, let's check this one. PRGO. PRGO. Ooh. I closed that on Subex. Yeah, you want some shit, Porky? I got you. We'll have to check with Goo over here, but yeah, man, I think the next one's gonna be EA for you, Porky. But still watching, man. We're gonna see what we can find. He's just getting his headset fixed up, and he'll be right back. ATVI, I'm looking for another leg up over here. Still in the clouds, holding the 20 SMA. Let me go over to some other crazy ones. Now, if you're really exotic, Porky, you can bet on these things. These ETFs are pretty nuts. They move pretty strong. FXI is related off China, so I don't know how we're going to do too good with this deal not breaking through. So, obviously looking for a retrace on this one. EFA, I'm looking for a long. This is going to be a punt, little bit higher probably to this cloud top over here. So, push
Yo,
over
give me
here.
like 2 little seconds. I'm just gonna fix my
Yeah, man, you're good.
audio settings.
BRZU, looking strong. Probably looking for a little bit more of a pullback here. NLS was the one that some dude mentioned. This just flew. But out of all these three, EFA is the one that I'm looking at. EFA wait. NSD. Gaps. GME. NGE. Sci-Fi is another one. It just broke out of this resistance over here, aiming for the top of the clouds around this area. So probably another dollar gap more. We have horizontal resistance over here. Off that. So that makes confluence there. ECH, no. KOL, no. Well, I'm wondering if a gap fills over here. 1 day chart. We are pushing. One more clear over here, and then we can try to see if we can attack over the 20 SMA, but that's a pass. Barclays, Banks week this week, so we'll see what happens over here. It's starting to get a little extended over here, so we might have to close out over here. What else we got?
Yo, bro, sorry about that. My mic cut out. I'm back.
Oh, you're good, dude. I'm just going through
All right,
a couple
perfect.
more. Did you do MJ? I think you got cut off before you did that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. I had
Oh,
to go close the door.
oh,
Pardon
you're
me.
good. Has it snowed where you're at?
In Scotland, not yet, dude. We have a hurricane coming, so I'm a little bit iffy on that. As they say, you know.
Well, hopefully it's not that bad. I didn't even know you guys get hurricanes like that.
It's approaching the UK, so I don't know how bad it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be too bad, but I guess we'll see, you know. Trying to share screens here. Give me a sec, bro. Fucking
Fine.
Zoom is being a piece of crap. All right, there we go. Share screens. Screen two. All right, sick.
All right.
All right, so what we're looking at there?
MJ is one that was a little bit lagging behind everything. For me personally, I'm looking for a little bit more of a cloud break over $18 for this one. And once we clear over 1840, I think this will start moving up a lot higher. But I, I mean, obviously, if you missed a breakout, I think it's a wait type thing. But
What is this? What is this ETF basically looking at?
ETF, it's weighted off a bunch of other tickers. So
Hmm.
technically, you can break it down and go through all the other tickers. But that's basically what it's weighted off of. If they do good, this does good.
Hmm. But like which sector?
Marijuana,
Okay.
more so harvest end of things. I can pull up like the heaviest weighted ticker. That'll give you a better.
Yeah, we can break that down if you like. For me, 2687 has to, has to basically get above. And if you don't get above that, it's meh. Let's see lower time frames. Yeah, dude, I want to see 17.33 hold. It's
Okay.
not bullish till we get above, let's say, 19.46. When we get above there, it's going to rip hard to at least, let's say, down here somewhere.
So
To be
what helped it
conservative.
move a lot is that CGC, its top weighting is CGC, and then the
Hmm.
next two are Cron. Well, one's Cron, CRON.
So in other words, basically just shit coins.
Yeah, basically, yeah. If those shitcoins go up, this goes even higher. That's what I was saying initially to people on Twitter the other day. I'm like, now that I realize what ETFs are, I'm like, there's absolutely no need for a Bitcoin ETF. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, I just don't think there's any need at all. Like, I just think people just want, half the shit there just because they don't understand what, the function of half these products is. But with like how much exposure that, retail already has to that market, like, I don't think you even need that instrument. But I guess, whatever, if people want it, they get it,
I
is what
think
it is.
FTX did a great job. They made that shitcoin perp swap. I mean, that's basically an ETF to me.
Yeah, bro, me and Giraffe were looking at this shit so long ago.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, dude, we had to pop off the market cap and this went right off with it. That's
Oh,
so
dude,
funny.
my guy, what's his name? My guy Shadow, Crypto Shadow, he was looking at Total 2. We were looking at it together. I was looking at a short, but he was like, nah, it's going higher, dude. And I was wrong, dude.
We'll have to
If
get
we,
him on stream with us too, cause he's always he's a really nice guy.
oh, dude, yeah, he's solid, bro. This, I was looking at basically 68 billion to kind of get rejected, but we gained that. So given this, what this is doing here, as long as we kind of maintain above 73.54, I do think we can go much higher. And when I say much higher, I'm talking like up here somewhere,
Can you include that with
108s.
BTC and do it?
Sure. Total. This
I
one,
think
yeah.
it's everything. I never knew TradingView even had it on here.
This looks bearish. That's the worrying part.
Yeah,
Or
see,
not bearish.
for me over here, as far as the total goes, I mean, we did hold up to 200 billion like I wanted it to, but now at this point, I'm looking for a clear on 250. If we can clear that 250, that'll be beautiful. That'll be really alt season then.
Let me check the daily. I think if you get above this leg, it's gonna make new highs. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting right here looking at this. Yeah. If you get above this general, let's see, right there, we get above 247, it's gonna make new highs. If you're contained inside of this leg, it's gonna rip lower, like much, much lower. It's kind of the same with what I have with Bitcoin. It's if you get above here, it's just gonna completely all-time highs, you know. Obviously we'll see some resistance, on the way up, but generally speaking, we're gonna see like a pretty sizable move enough so that you won't even give a fuck, that it's making all-time highs. You're just gonna be retired by, next year or something, that kind of thing. Um, what I want to see is 21 hold, 20, sorry, 211 hold. If you get below 2211, not as likely. We can still go higher. It's just a little iffy, that kind of thing. Trying to slow down again, same thing. But for me, the bullish case needs to just rip right through it. We might see some sort of small minor pullback, but ideally, rip right through it. Again, wrong below here. This is a daily chart. It's not going to be tight. It's just the nature of doing these kind of things. If you check the 4-hour composite of what's happening in lower time frame, if it wants to load, that is. I'm gonna line up a level 2. So because it's crypto and I don't want to be, too exact with this, I'm looking basically around here somewhere, 243 to 247. I want to see if this is going to dump. I'm looking for something like this just to kind of grind up, right? Either that or we see like a range pop up and then heavy distribution. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for if I'm wrong, right? And let's say if this does go higher, don't really care how it gets above there. It just needs to basically get above there and retest it, and it needs to hold. It's that simple. You don't have to complicate it. That's all it has to do, bro. That's the way I see it, at least. I mean, this guy's out there looking at all this volume stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, dude. It's just for me personally, this is what works, and this is what I'm gonna stick with.
Yeah, I've seen people doing the A&E on here with the volume included, and I was just like, oh, cringe. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think
Uh,
somebody mentioned Tomo, bro. Tomo was looking pretty interesting a few weeks back.
I actually personally like the coin in general, um, but That's more so like a long-term type thing. If I ever had like extra money I wanted to toss into stuff like this one, TFD, and like one other one, I would. But yeah, that pump looks like it ruined everything.
Yeah, this is looking iffy, dude. It's not looking like it's gonna.
Couldn't even break a higher high.
I'm liking. Yeah, okay, this is all right. This might actually still hold. I like this 4893 level. If you can hold that, maybe read these lows, that kind of thing. This is crypto after all, so you are going to see stop rates, as much as I hate to admit it. Yeah, if you get below there, dude, I think we can certainly pop up again, after that. But again, it has to do the same thing. So basically, an inverted CL or a CGC. You're looking for no, not CGC. Which one was it? Was it Aura or something? I can't remember. It's one of the weed stocks, dude. I think it was Torii actually. You're looking for some shit like this, or like an inverted CL, like like that. We're looking for this just on the downside, right? With Tomo. That's how I'd play it. If you don't see that kind of price action, or if you don't see one of the reversal patterns I look for down there, then I'm not going to get involved. It's that simple. But overall, dude, if this holds, it's probably going to honestly probably make new all-time highs. Would I hold up to there? Probably not. I'll take profit and show stop loss and stuff. But
Yeah, it's so cheap. Like any kind of move will be good gains.
yeah, it's the market's so fucked. I think it's like hanging by a thread. I think they have to move it just to kind of keep sentiment going, retail interested.
Yeah, that's
Because
my thing. It's like, all right, we gotta keep giving these guys like 20 billion on the market cap every so often.
yeah, certainly, bro. It's a little bit fucked up. I think overall.
Somebody said, why is Dragon pumping? I don't understand. Giovanni brought it up last stream. I had was like, hey man, Dragon's going nuts, and it
What the
is.
fuck is this?
It just doesn't stop.
Is this on somewhere else with like a little bit
Yeah.
more data?
If you go to, do you have that CoinTrader Pro website?
Send me a link on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think it's CoinTrader.pro. Yeah, I was looking for a bunch of stuff with AMD on
Yeah. There
this.
you go.
So we're looking at Theta, dude. Let me pull that up. I don't know what actually happened. Looking at Theta and Beam.
Theta.
I don't know.
Tunes
Yeah.
promised this to be the
Fuck me.
future.
Look at this shit, dude. Textbook as fuck. Jesus Christ. Honestly, this looks really good.
Well,
I think we missed the long. I don't know if it's gonna give us like that right here somewhere, that 11104, but this looks really good, dude.
well, Tunes promised me financial gain on this one, so
Is he a financial advisor?
for Theta, yes. He said it would go to the moon. Would like to hear your thoughts on Roku. Yeah, Roku's an interesting one because I have multiple different people who are trading this one and they're doing different type of things. Like I have harmonic traders that are doing bearish wedges, but then I have my regular stock folks who are actually short-term bullish on it. Me, I don't want to fight that shit because it already screwed us before. So I'm
From
just
what
not
I
even trading
understand,
it.
this is like the GJ of stocks, right? It's like that one retarded thing that just moves like a motherfucker.
Sort of, yeah. I don't even know why it moved. It just I guess Roku TVs aren't that bad.
All I know is that all Wall Street Bets trades this fucking shitcoin. So,
Yeah, 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 I bet.
dude, perfectly. Being honest with you, if you hit 124 and pop off that, I think it's gonna rip up to at least here. It's a large fucking move. Jesus Christ. This is all tested. We do
I
not
wouldn't be
see anything
surprised
in
because you
there.
see those constant green candles that were going up. I tried to
Mhm.
short one of them and I got fucked on that.
Yeah, I mean, if I break this down in like a lot of depth, the way I'd like to see, this thing actually pan out is we'll have to basically, yeah, this is gonna rip, dude. As long as this level here holds, like this general kind of zone here, let's say,
Now let's back test that with order flow and see what people bought up
yeah,
today.
check that out, bro.
Not much for today, but a lot of people betting for February for 160. What's the top up there? Oh, look at that, 160.
158.
I wasn't even looking at that. That's cool.
Yeah, so like 122-ish, dude. That kind of general zone between 122 to 124, I'd look for longs. If we get below that, not so keen. But if you can hold that level, dude, I think we're gonna go much higher. 158. That's 27%. That's a fucking big move.
Somebody hedged with a put, it looks like for today. I mean, they got 130 puts on this one. But
Mhm.
I don't understand their mindset behind that.
I mean, it makes sense just to hedge it because what this is doing in the higher time frames, it's like it's not super. it's pretty bullish, but at the same time, it's like a weird spot. It can go down here, right?
See, for me, my thinking is because the guy that bought it, he bought it for expiration of Friday with these options, and they're already priced at $2.29. So that would mean, at least in my eyes, would mean that hey, within the next like 24 hours, Roku better have some sort of dump, or that guy's
Mhm.
gonna be losing a lot of money quick.
We might hold here. This might actually just be the low because I'm looking at this. It found support right here, so like it wouldn't surprise me too much if this was the thing, and like this was a reversal pattern right here. That would not shock me one bit either. Because I mean, when you think about who's trading this shit and like how they would trade it, like this would not surprise me one bit if this was the low. Let me
That's
get rid of
insane.
this. Yeah. If that's a low, dude, you should get some sort of response at, let's say, 135.3. I would like to see 124.48, but I mean, if you hit 130.46, that general kind of zone, and we hold that stop loss below the low, I think we'll rip up to minimum 140s, like here somewhere.
Do you take into account any of this like Chinese New Year stuff trading into or
Nah, bro.
into
Nah,
effect?
not at
No.
all.
Okay.
All I know is, the first month of the year going to be very iffy to jump into anything in FX, so I'm just basically scalping. Oh shit, I was gonna go to Cointrader Pro. All right, how do you? What chart were we looking at, bro? I think it was
Was it Theta?
nah, it was something else, bro. It's before Theta.
Dragon. Dragon
Oh
chain.
yeah,
Not Coin Preparica, the other one.
oh,
That's
no,
fine.
no,
You
change
can
it a sec.
it'll come up in a minute.
Which one?
Coin Market Cap one. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, there's no yearly in this. Oh, that's fine. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. It's the same textbook pattern, dude. When it slows down like that, it's gonna pop hard. Let's see. I want to see some sort of reaction down here at 4160s. I obviously would not be buying into this shit. That's just retarded. It's going parabolic, so we might hold this high, um, 5 600s, if not 5 3 7s, that general zone. If you lose this, I don't think I think it makes more sense to look for buys down here somewhere as opposed to looking for anything up there. With that said, we aren't really bullish until we get above here. Like, I mean, yeah, it's going up, but we're not really gonna, new all time highs or anything until we get above there. You know, that's like the first step for us to even do anything. For us to actually rip up, above. Basically, if you get above here, I think we're gonna go up here somewhere. But it has to do like a lot of undoing before it can just rip that hard. It's stuck inside of this, right? It can't just go except basically the way I see it is this is where price is contained inside, right? So for it to move up higher, it has to get above there first, right? That's just how it works. Is there any other charts you guys want me to look at or anything? Or
I hate betting on things like this just because they're so extended. Somebody said they want to see me do a Ichimoku chart on AXU. Yeah, I could do that. That's an exotic request. Hang on.
once you're done with that, I want to see an Ichimoku chart on JPY on the 4 hour.
I haven't had too much success on Ichimoku on Forex, but I will definitely check it. Mount Doji. So we're trying to hold up support over here on the cloud. Couple things that are bad. We had a bearish TK on the daily end of things, and we're having the 20 SMA already underneath of it. Let me zoom in now. Yeah, I mean, we're not having too much good things. I mean, we're having the stock and like EMA on RSI coming out a little bit, so there might be some. I'll have to draw some more levels. Let's see what we can find. Um, yeah, the hourly looks like it's gonna reverse. Like, so with the hourly over here, if it holds 186 for me and or even gets over the 20 SMA, then you'll see some price action past this range up to this $2 range. But I don't know. I'm not too much of a fan of it. It's precious metals. So since it's a precious metal thing, I don't think right now is the time for metals. I mean, accumulation, sure. As far as this one goes, I mean, it would probably go a little bit lower, but it's a little bit too low. I'd need to check into it a little bit more. So Ichi, not the best on Ichi. It would really need to hold this zone over here and pop back over. And you said USD JPY. Let's check that
I
one.
said RJPY, but I'm okay
Oh,
with UJ. That's all right.
it doesn't
I
matter.
already have like a strong bias on AJ, so I actually would prefer UJ chart now to think about it.
All right, let's do the UJ then. UJ. Yeah, I mean UJ looks good on an Ichi standpoint because we're having to come out of the clouds right now. I mean it's testing on the top of the clouds, so I would definitely absolutely need it to hold on the top of the clouds on the weekly end of things. Zooming in. Daily's weakening a little bit, so that's not the best of things, but you have support down here at the 20 SMA, and things could change over here because everything's overlapping.
Mhm.
Stock's oversold, so once again comes back down to it holding this 109.48 zone. Let me zoom in more.
I think we'll see like a nice buy to sell off that.
Yeah, 4 hours. So that's what I would go off would be the 4 hour. If the 4 hours holds this like if I drew a line over here or even over here, the structure should still hold on Ichi as long as it doesn't break underneath the Kijin over here,
Mhm.
which would probably end up going flat eventually at some point around this area. So it doesn't break that one. I think it'll keep going uptrend.
Yeah, certainly, bro. I'm with you on that.
Overstock. Yeah, somebody yeah, that's one I keep forgetting. Overstock goes up with crypto. What do you think of that one?
Overstock and crypto, bro. I last time I looked at Overstock was at the lows, and I literally had
You're gonna be sickened.
like a 20 a 20% range on that shit.
Yeah, you're gonna be sickened, man. Right off the new year, same timing with Bitcoin. Just Moon City with this one, and like the scalps are even more disgusting on this one in the shorter time frames.
I don't think it's like money's flowing out of Bitcoin into this. I don't think that's how it works.
The company's value has a lot of value in Bitcoin, and just because they've been accumulating tons of crypto for the last couple of years, that's I think the more so motto
Oh
on
yeah,
this.
if that's the case, then yeah, then that actually makes a lot of sense. I just thought like it'd just be the standard kind of like, oh, it's moving with Ponzi
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
no,
thing.
no, yeah, nothing like silly like that.
No, you're good then. All right. So if I'm trading this, if I can get the chart to function, that is. All right. Close some of these windows down. All right.
For me, I'm looking over 930, and then we're gonna be aiming for 1250 is my goal.
Yeah. So we got to get above here, dude. This is your key levels. Zoom out a little. Yeah, you got to get above 950 for me. Till then, it's trying to accumulate, right? Like this looks like textbook. I would long, let's say 77, sorry, 7.46. Don't want to see us any lower than that. I mean, a wick or so is fine, just not a close on the daily or the weekly. Something like this would be absolutely perfect if we did this reject and then pop up.
Earnings is coming up too at the end of the month, so I might just have to wait until the earnings and then play it afterwards.
This is the ideal case for me. This entire thing is looking pretty iffy, if I'm being honest. Nothing amazing. We might even reject these lows here and just continue the downtrend. It's just you have to see this level holds for me. That's just the way I trade this personally. On the weekly, same idea, just no lower than 719. So that's a pretty big jump, I guess. But it's parabolic, so it's gonna have to be, like that. Yeah. It's down here. I don't want to see us lose, let's say 7.17. Stop below here. Should rip much higher to at least here. I'd maybe cut half trail stop loss and then let the rest run to here. If not, at least to this gap fill. I think we'll rip through here to be quite honest with you. So you're looking at something like this, assuming this holds and assuming we rip through here, we're looking at pretty big move here. 92%.
Do you know Crypto Kaleo?
No.
He's one that was mentioning this riot thing to me. We tried it earlier this year, but Bitcoin refused to move up. But that's the only ticker that I know of that's a blockchain thing, but a regular.
David Bell has some thing about the euro dollar and dollar liquidity and Bitcoin. I mean, it works most of the time. I wouldn't purely base a trade off it personally, but I guess there's definitely value in using the
God, I didn't
correlations with
even
that
know
kind of
the
thing.
price for this was like this.
Oh, this looks okay. It looks like it's gonna fucking die, but seems to hold.
Yeah. For me, on the ET standpoint, like it finally ended up breaking out, and it's over the short-term resistance for me. So that's why
Mhm.
I'm a little bit curious. Like, hey, if this holds and we can get over the one, I think it's 160 at 162 for me. I think it'll be a nice little pop off that, at least to 250.
See what's kind of sitting right now. It's already kind of tested the levels we're looking at. So I mean, I'm not convinced. It basically just has to hold here. Maybe like an inside leg here. The way I play this is no lower than 117. You can already understand why I already hate hard time frames because that's a big fucking stop loss, right? Um, but hold on, there we are. I want to see us kind of no lower than this wick here at 116 and continue to rip harder. Honestly, we shouldn't even retest this. We should just go up from here if this is actually going to rip up. That is, but you are fighting the monthly on this, which is very bearish. That
Somebody said,
said,
what do you guys think about FTX listing gold? They didn't really list gold, they just listed something that's backed off gold.
what's this?
FTX listed something that's like related off gold. I wonder if I could find that for you.
Yeah, basically, if you get above 1.74, it's going to rip. But that's a big if. I just don't see the point in FTX listing something like that. They're a crypto exchange, right? Unless they want to do something like Prime XBT and list
It's
all
PAX
that
G is the ticker. So it's
PAX G.
basically PAX.
Oh, I see. This,
Yeah, whatever they have on Kraken and stuff. Oh wow, they have FTX stuff already listed on there?
yeah. It's funny though. Deribit still didn't get listed for like years. Well, not years, but like so long. Took them forever.
Yeah, it basically says it's an asset based off of how much gold is inside the London Brink vaults or whatever.
Why would you choose to trade this? I just don't understand. Like why?
I feel like it's for crypto people who don't want to go into stock world, but they still want to trade gold. It's like
But
what?
like you're just exposing yourself to illiquidity for no reason. It's just retarded. I
Not
wouldn't
only
do it.
that, it's saying that it has 101 times leverage.
Oh no, that's a lot. I mean, you get like a 500x on an FX. It's just standard. Like the fuck.
Oh yeah, you're used to that crazy stuff. I
Yeah,
remember you
it's
telling me that. You're like, yeah, dude, 500 times. I'm like, what? My
yeah,
Oanda
it's
offers me 50, and I'm plenty happy with that.
yeah, it's like standard for basically most of the space. Everybody trades with like 500x. Why would you trade like look? Just look at this, right? Why would you choose to trade this when you can go trade this? It just does not make any sense to me. Like, look at the slippage you're going to experience on the other chart compared to like this shit. I mean, obviously that's scam wick, but that's just a pricing error. Like, you can trade this shit on like the ticks and like not get slipped hard, right? And if you trade like you can try that shit on FTX stuff, it's not going to have the volume. It's just doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't waste my time on it personally. But I mean, if you have funds and you want to jump in and gold like super quickly, it makes sense to do that kind of thing. But I can't see any value in it personally.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the that one. Everything else they have is cool. I just don't see why do that. But
Yeah,
I think it has something to do with Sam's a very smart guy, so I think he's scheming something. Because if you look at the ones that have it listed right now, it's only Kraken and certain other ones, and they're pretty big on like swapping money in and out of their exchanges.
I think most of the exchanges, like the entire function, the entire purpose of half these exchanges is basically just do like low key, you know, scam and just like take money from like
Yeah, they're just
and
making money out of thin air, out of trading and math.
basically
That's
that's
all
pretty
it
much
is.
it.
It's not even
Yeah.
like something's good about the technology. It's just it's a space that's unregulated, so you might as well sink out every little penny you can out of everybody and everything.
Not even that, bro. You can make stupid amounts of money just arbing with futures. One of my guys was talking about that the other day, actually.
How does
Yeah,
that work with
it's
Arbing futures?
I personally don't know, but I just remember talking about it. I'd assume if you see the futures going up, up a lot, and then you see the CFD feed lagging or whatever feed you're looking at, you can basically I don't know start buying in relation in hopes to that it will actually catch up with what's happening in the futures market.
Oh, okay, okay. I see what you're saying.
Because obviously, I mean, if you look at the state of what's ticker called again, PaxG. If you look at the state of this in comparison to Go, like
Do it on
you could arb the
do it
shit out
on
of this.
Kraken.
Yeah, you could like arb the living crap out of this and just make easy money. But
Oh
you
shit,
know
it's worse.
your slippage is going to be disgusting. I mean, look at the state of this. I just can't see any reason that you'd want to trade this over actually trading gold. Personally, it just does not make any sense. But people are going to do what they want to do. So
He's like, I do love getting scammed though. That's why I'm in crypto. Well, you're in the right place, Gerlin.
I want to see XRP press lower, dude. I think I have it charted here somewhere. The other, pull that up. Yeah, I want to see XRP make one more low, dude. I think it's just accumulating to go lower.
Yo, my short got filled on Bitcoin. Did it really? Oh shit, that's scary. I should have closed that out and shouldn't have done that.
Yikes.
I
Pull that
left
up,
one
bro.
open at 8888. I was kind of trolling everybody. I was like, you know what? We're gonna open up a long short at 888. So now I got filled. So let's dump this shit.
It's not a bad short, to be honest. It's just I wouldn't engage with it here. Wait for some sort of confirmation before jumping in personally myself. But yeah, dude, nothing wrong with this trade at all. It's cleared the way, so I mean, it can rip down to like let's say it's
I'm
all
just aiming for
tested. So
86, like maybe lower, like 86.66 would be fine. 85 would be great, but I'm not expecting that much trouble.
I think you could maybe find support here somewhere, dude, like 8,620
And
on
it's quick
stab.
too. It's just a quick scalp, like I got into. I've been
Yeah.
doing Bitcoin a lot more lately because my options are all tied up with everything. Somebody said Shack. No, we already did Shack Porky, and I don't know if you want to try for that gap fill, you can, man. But remember what I told you about risk. That imposes a lot more risk than doing something different.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch this here. With Shaq, I don't know, dude. Just be careful on that thing. I think it's too fucking volatile. Just be careful. The R is in the upside here, not the downside.
Somebody said crowd, CRWD. And if you guys have any last ticker requests, let us know. We're gonna wrap this up in about 10 minutes. Crowd. Yeah, this is a new IPO. So basically, the way I look at IPOs on stock market world is the same thing like ICOs. They
Mhm.
list and then they dump and then they pump out. Uber did that and Chewy both did that. Chewy's about to rip all-time highs in my opinion.
What's Chewy?
Chewy's like a dog food thing, but the ticker's literally Chewy. So I compare it just like to any IPO. I think it's gonna do the exact same thing.
This reminds me of Uber when it got listed.
Yeah,
Mm, I'd short, let's say 32s.
because like on a daily,
Yeah.
it just broke out of resistance on a diagonal sense.
Yeah, I could see that. Like right here, like this kind of thing.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I was looking a different way, but that works.
yeah. I mean, you got your classic Peter Brandt shit here. Your cup, your handle.
Oh god.
You actually do, which is a funny thing. But just slap on a fib here super quick. Highest point back. Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Why is it not anchoring? Yeah, that general area, dude. 32.50, 32.75. I take something off minimum. Not a bad place to short, to be honest, because it's not bullish until it retests this general kind of zone. We've gained all this now, so yeah, I'd be looking for buys around 26.08 and shorts around 32.75s. Assuming we hold this general zone, we probably are going to rip up much higher because in that case, we're talking something like this. Just to kind of fib gamble it, I'd take something off at 35.97s right there somewhere. That is roughly, let's see, 38% move, which is pretty decent, I guess. Leo. All right, let's put Leo.
Oof, I haven't had somebody mention the Leo name since like Twitter said it was gonna be the future. Oh, look at that, dude, our future. It's red. The fuck?
Surprise, surprise, eh?
Baby bottom? No, no, not yet.
No, this looks
It's
fucked, bro.
trying.
I mean, it could pop, but I wouldn't long this. Slippage looks disgusting on this. I mean, fuck that.
Yeah, welcome to Bitfinex.
Leo USD says, all right. Phoenix. Well, this looks okay actually. This looks tradable.
Dude, I was really worried that HitBTC wasn't gonna let me take out my money out of their exchange.
Why?
Thankfully they did. I saw a coin on there, Bitcoin Rhodium, and I was like, ah, look at this. This looks like it's gonna pop. So I did a long on that one, and I did really good on it. But I've always had like really bad shit with them to where they wouldn't let me withdraw my money, or my withdrawal would be stuck for days. So I put it in. Took a couple days, but finally got out.
This I really 100% honestly, I really don't know what the fuck is happening on this chart.
I would pass on that.
I think it's trying to rip higher. I wouldn't jump in here though. I think it's trying to get to at least 9257s, like up here somewhere. I wouldn't trade this personally, but it can, definitely do something there. If we rip above here, play the retest down. It should go much higher to, let's say, 1.49, which is a pretty big move. So get above there somewhere, do a retest down, and then up here somewhere. Just a rough kind of,
Man, if you look at
thing.
it on CoinTrader Pro, dude, that looks disgusting. Because there's so many wicks on the upside back in 2016, which clearly shows that people were getting out of this like early.
What, Leo?
Yeah, BTC pair.
On CoinMarketCap, yeah.
Yeah, not the first one, but all the way at the bottom.
Oops. Leo Coin, BTC, CoinMarketCap. There. Yikes. That
Like
looks
they
fucked.
got out and they screwed everybody over.
I didn't. That looks so fucked. I'm a little speechless.
That's why I don't even want to like enter it right now. Like there's not even like
Yeah,
heartbeats of anything.
just wait till we get above here. Like till
Yeah,
then, it's basically fucked.
yeah. We don't know if it's alive. We don't know what's going on.
Just the liquidity on this thing must be A's, I think. Somebody says BTT USD. Let's pull it up.
BTTUSD.
Where did I chart this? I did chart it somewhere.
Oh, BitTorrent, Justin Trons, which I never understood this product, like why even come out with something like this, but oh, actually, doesn't look too bad to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. For me, sniping bottoms with people, this looks really good on the weekly for me.
Hmm.
At least on the
It's
Bitcoin pair. Monthly, not so much.
let's see.
But it's like the
That's the
reason I like
level.
it is because everything's so super tight on this one. My invalidation and stop out would be so quick that I wouldn't even have to worry.
Yeah. You just don't want to see this lose the high, or it's basically fucked. 3 day. I'll take something off here to be honest. Just this previous level. Then yeah, that's how I trade this dude. If you're already in, great, but I wouldn't jump in unless we can go test. Let's say here somewhere, 2 nines. That's already tested.
Oh, it's already moving like that on shorter time frames. Interesting.
Yeah, basically, 3 1s needs to hold, bro. 3 1 7 3, a general kind of zone. I wouldn't long it here. Wait for the retest if we get one that is, or maybe short it down from there or there. I wouldn't play with it here to be honest.
Any more requests, guys? And we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Is there anything you want to add in here, Goof, for anybody, or helpful tip or anything?
Sure. I'd say probably the best thing I can tell anybody is if you're gonna learn from anybody, make sure they have a make sure that either institutional or have some sort of verifiable track record. Right. I think that's just the way to learn. I think if you're gonna learn from somebody that doesn't have either those two things or both of them combined, you're putting yourself at a massive disadvantage. That's just how I feel about that. One thing I'm looking at today over the next couple of weeks, actually this chart here, let's look at a lower time frame, is Euro franc. I'm looking for sensitivity down at 107,479, and I'm looking for like a really big pop from at 0. 10, sorry, at 07148 or maybe 150, that general kind of zone. I want to see it pop. I'll be cutting half around, let's say 107,894, but overall I'm looking for like a 400 pip move up to
Nice.
111,293s. And again, this is assuming that we actually do what I'm expecting it to do, because where it's sitting right now, we should see like a large move. I'm being this all as accumulation here. If I'm right, this is gonna really rip hard and it's gonna melt faces. So, it's a really big if, but the risk reward is in my favor. If not, I'll still get at least a 30 pip pop. So
That's
I'll be
interesting
making
because
money.
like there's actually like somebody was telling me recently they're like you can trade forex tickers off options. So I'm gonna look for an ETF that I can find to trade something like this.
Yeah, this is a cross, so it's gonna be kind of harder to find, but it's Euro franc, so they probably do have ETFs on this. I think for the ETFs for Forex, you're probably gonna be stuck with the majors. And the majors, I think, in terms of, these pairs, I think I got fucked on this, dude. Actually, I didn't actually get fucked because I didn't open a longer, but I was looking for some sort of pop, and we did kind of get it, just wasn't significant enough. So looking for shorts around 0.7, sorry, 0.97226, and up here too. But overall, this is all looking pretty fucked, especially with what Dixie is doing. I want to see us go much lower. One more press up there, then just dump down aggressively. That's the ideal case for me.
Nice. And for me, everybody, my play would be is just Marvel. This is one I'm looking for call options for. You can look for a little bit of a retrace down to this range, but this is what I'm playing is just this range, upper, lower, mid. If we blow off over here, it'll go a lot higher. My target's around 30, anywhere to 35. That's where I'm having call options spread out till nothing's invalid until, I mean, this trend doesn't get invalidated for me until we at least break $25 or a worst case scenario 23. But until then, I think this is setting up really nicely on the weekly for me, and on the daily we should start going and start popping off soon. But yeah, man, thank you everybody for joining. Goo, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
man, that was really fun. I didn't even realize we were on here for 2 hours. So I always love the
Really?
streams. I
Oh
forget,
fuck, dude, it's
I
like one in
forget
the
about
morning.
time. Yeah, oh man, it is.
Yeah, time for Asia, I guess.
Yeah, try time to trade more. All right, guys. Thank you everybody for joining, and we will see you guys tomorrow on Bagsy stream.